hi there, good evening, how are you doing? So this evening we're going to be making some jacket potatoes. With that I'm going to make some chickpea tuna to go with it, and also a really nice salad. So pretty healthy midweek dinner. Let's get started with the salad. So
before we start, I think we need to feed the cat.
she won't stop meowing. So we're going to get started with our salad. So I've got a nice big salad bowl, and I got one of these packs of the baby leaf and herb salad from Waitrose, which is always a really nice shout. So I'm just going to empty the whole lot in there. Now some of these leaves are a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to go through and just tear roughly, just to kind of make them a little smaller, like so. And then into this, it's already got some herbs in, but I'm going to just add some more because I had some fresh coriander that needed to be used up. So that is going in. Then I've got some of these really nice cherry tomatoes. So I just halve these up and whack them in there, like so. Next, some spring onions. So with my spring onions, I like to chop them with the scissors. It just makes really easy work of it. These have already been washed. I mean, everything's already washed before we get started. So let's just whack some spring onions in. Let's do a bit of this one, like so. Okay, next up, some cucumber. So my little way I like to do cucumber, I'm sure lots of people do a similar thing to me. If you just do a few cuts along that side, turn it and do a few cuts that side. And then when you come to chop it, it's nicely kind of, I guess, cubed up. Like so. So that can all go in. Ooh, that can all go in there. Some red pepper. So I'm just trying to add in as many elements as I can. Let's move that into this salad. Last year, Andrew and I did a bit of a challenge. One of these, it was one of these challenges to see if you could eat 30 different plant foods in a week. We actually got up to, I think it was 72 or 73. Really enjoyed it, tried lots of different new things, and it's really, thinking back to that, it's really kind of spurred me on just to try and include as many different plant foods into our sort of everyday meals as we can. Not just kind of the regular stuff that you might normally have, but try to kind of go a bit all out. Perhaps we do the challenge again, Andrew. Hey, what do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds good.
Seeing as it's a new year, good time to sort of broaden your food horizons and try some new healthy bits. Right, so that's all in there thus far. Now, next up, I'm going to actually use my spiralizer, and I'm going to do some courgette and some carrot in the spiralizer. So I'm sure lots of people already know what a spiralizer is and what it does. Essentially, it's going to make this into a long, thin strips that's in a spiral shape. So it's pretty, looks pretty cool. Now this carrot, I don't need to peel this. It's had a really good wash, so it's not got any bacteria or anything on it. You've got a little piece there that kind of you
Hold
stab.
on, sorry, let me get in now.
Like that, so you can stab the carrot or whatever you're using onto it. Pop it in, and then you switch it on, and as you can see down here, this is what we're getting. Nice spirally shreds of carrot. You can do this with like a potato if you wanted to make like homemade curly fries. That works quite well. I'm going to do the courgette now. And you can use this to make, like, if you wanted to make like courgette spaghetti, which you can then just steam up for a few minutes and have with instead of pasta. But you can also have this raw, which is what we're doing tonight. So there we go. So as you can see, I've got some nice fancy, I mean, it's really cool. As you can see, it's quite long shreds, and because this is going to go into a salad, I don't mind just kind of breaking them up a little bit as it goes into the salad bowl. Otherwise it makes it a bit trickier to sort of dish up and also to eat. So let's just whack that in. I think we're almost done with this salad. Let's give it a little toss with my salad service just to incorporate everything. And yeah, this is pretty decent. I mean, obviously we'll have this tonight, but I'm sure there'll probably be some left over, so this can be a nice accompaniment to like a packed lunch tomorrow or the next day even. So there we go. That is our big old salad. Let's put that to one side. And next I am going to start with my chickpea tuna. I think we might have we already covered this on another video before, Andrew?
Quite
I think
possibly,
we might
yeah.
have done. So first, a tin of chickpeas. I'm going to drain these off, pop them in my bowl, and then I'm going to put them in the microwave for 2 minutes. Okay, so we come back to you once they're out the microwave. Okay, so chickpeas have been in the microwave for a couple of minutes. Now the purpose of doing this is to soften them up a little bit. It just makes it a bit easier to mash them. If you don't have to do this step, you can just do them from cold, but I just find this makes it a lot easier. So we're just going to roughly mash these like so, and this is going to replicate the tuna fish in the chickpea tuna. So once they've had a nice old mash up, you can also do this with a fork if you prefer. Don't do it in a food processor, it can make them too mashed up. You want to still keep some of the texture to it, and it's okay to have like a few little lumps in there. Right, so to this I'm now going to add, you may have noticed when I chopped up the spring onions that I only did the leafy bit, so now I've got like the whiter end of the spring onion, so it's a little bit more oniony if you like. So that's going in. Also got some sweet corn, so that's going to go in. Of course, some salt and pepper. Nice lot of black pepper. Yum, yum, yum. A little bit of salt. Okay. And then we are next going to do some pickles or some gherkins, if you like. So this gives it a nice kind of sea kind of flavour, because obviously these are in brine and they're pickled, so they're they've got a bit of a salty flavour. So I've got a few pickle spears there, so I'm just going to give these a little chop up. If you don't like gherkins, just leave them out. You don't have to do this bit, but I really like the flavour of them and I think it really adds to the dish. So they are going into ours. Okay. Getting there. So the next thing to do, and this really adds a nice fishy flavour, is some of these Itsu crispy seaweed thins. You can just use a sushi nori sheet if you've got one to hand, but these are quite good because you just get just the right amount you need in a little pack really. And I'm going to pop these into my mini chopper. We do the whole pack, why not? Just kind of tear them a little bit to get them a head start, and then we will give them a whiz until they've kind of flaked up quite a bit. Let's see how they're looking. Oh, they need a little bit longer. Okay, so the sushi nori sheet is all sort of powdered up now. So let's add that in. And like I said, this adds a real element of a flavour of the sea, which is always nice when we're trying to sort of replicate a fishy thing. So tuna mayo would obviously have mayo in. We're doing a slightly healthier version today. We do often do this with vegan mayo, but today I've got some of the Outpro plain yogurt. Make sure you get the one with no sugars, because the other one with the blue label, that's sweetened, so it wouldn't be ideal for this kind of dish. It would be too sweet, essentially. It's better for like a dessert type or a breakfasty thing. Anyway, so I've just put a couple of spoonfuls of that in there, and we give it a good old mix through. It's nice seeing it all combining like that. And as you can see, this is looking pretty decent. And thus our chickpea tuna is ready. I think actually it might need a little dollop more of the yogurt. Let me just grab a clean spoon because that one's got all the stuff on it. So maybe just a touch more, like so. Oh yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it?
It certainly smells very fishy.
It does. It's that sushi sheet that really does it. Okay, so that is all ready to rock and roll. The jacket potatoes are just in the air fryer, so we'll come back to you and show you what we're going to do with some of the potatoes in a minute. Okay, so it's time to now get our potatoes going. So a couple of these are going to be had as a normal jacket potato, which is what I'm having with the chickpea tuna filling. But for the kids, we're doing some stuffed jacket potatoes. So I'll show you what I mean. Already cooked. They're slightly cooled, so they're cool enough to handle. And we're going to cut these all in half, and then with a spoon scoop out the insides. Now I'm being very careful doing this because I don't want to tear the skin underneath, so it's okay to leave a little bit of potato flesh still in them. And as I do each one, I'm just popping the skin onto a baking tray. Okay, so I just carry on and do this with all of the others. Okay, so I've done that to all the potatoes now, and I've got a nice big bowl of jacket potato innards. So I'm just going to give this a little mash with my fork.
Jacket potato.
I know.
It should have been more poetic way of saying
I know. Some nice potato filling. Okay, so just giving that a little mash up. I'm going to add to this some of this garlic butter. This is by Food Heaven. You can just add a bit of normal butter if you don't have any of this, or if you prefer it without the garlic, but everybody likes a bit of garlic in this house, don't they? So a few spoons of that, a little bit of seasoning. Now you can add to this whatever you want really, if you want some chopped up veggies and bits and bobs, but I know our lot like things kind of relatively simple, and I have the salad to keep them going. So I've just put in some bacon pieces. That's some of the This Isn't Bacon brand, and I've just finely chopped that up. So I'm going to stir this all through like so, and then add a little bit of grated cheese. I've got some of the Violife Cheddarton that we had in the fridge that needed to be used up, so I'll just grate some of that into the mixture like that. Okay, and let's give it another mix up, and then what I'm going to do is quite simply stuff this back into the potato skins. So I get my spoon back and just kind of pick each one up and just load them up. This is something that Summer loved when she was a little girl. I used to make this dinner quite frequently, and every now and again she actually gave me the idea for tonight's dinner. Yesterday she went, "Oh Mum, you haven't made those stuffed jacket potatoes for ages," and I said, "Yeah, I actually haven't. Let's do it." It just adds a nice kind of twist on your regular jacket potato. And there will, as I'm sure most people agree, that goes with any jacket potato dinner, there will also be baked beans available tonight to have with this for that kind of traditional meal. I know we do have some viewers from America that watch our channel, and I don't know if baked beans aren't quite such a big thing over there. I believe it's one of those things that some Americans consider to be a slight weird British thing.
Really?
Yeah, no, I see.
Baked beans came from America.
No.
Cowboys in blazing saddles.
No, but not how we have them. Not like a tin of Heinz baked beans. And having things like beans on toast is considered to some to be something quite odd. But over here, baked beans are kind of like a British family staple ingredient. Every family is going to have a tin of beans in their cupboard, I'm sure. Right. So anyway, that's all of the potatoes stuffed. And now just a little bit more of the grated cheese to go on the top, because it's nice to have it. These are going back in the oven, so this will melt onto the top quite nicely. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. They won't take long. They probably need about 10 to 15 minutes, and just to nicely warm through the potatoes, because they're quite cold now, and obviously we want the cheese to sort of melt up and brown up a little bit on top. So once they're done, we'll dish everything up. I'll show you what I'm going to do with mine to go with this dinner. As said, we actually don't have Heinz. We got some of the Waitrose. Do you know a tin of Heinz baked beans now is £1.40? It's ridiculous. These were 55p, so we're cheaping out, but that's okay. And then we've got some coleslaw as well, which is always, a top choice to go with this sort of dinner.
Obviously.
Yeah, this is the plant living range. Again, I'm not a Waitrose shopper. Waitrose in the UK is considered to be probably like the pushes of the supermarkets. I just work opposite a branch of Waitrose, so I end up going in there normally a couple of times a week if I need a few ingredients for dinner. I don't do the bulk of my shopping there. We normally go to Sainsbury's or a bit of Aldi.
Sainsbury's.
A bit of Sainsbury's. I am a Sainsbury's girl. I've always been a Sainsbury's girl.
Well, that's really local to where we live as well.
It's just up the road from us. But Waitrose is convenient on a weekday for a little foodie top up. So just putting it out there. I'm not your typical Waitrose shopper, I must say. Anyway, they've gone in the oven. We'll have a little tidy up and let you see what it all looks like when we're ready to dish up. Okay, so everything's ready. Let's get dished up. So let's get the potatoes out of the oven. And, oh yeah, they're looking all right, aren't they? Nice. Crisped up on the top a little bit of melty, which we love. Okay, and the baked beans are in the saucepan and they're all ready to rock and roll. So firstly, I'm going to do mine. So I'm just having a regular baked potato, like so, and I'm going to have on it some of the chickpea tuna mixture, which I love. This is my favourite jacket potato topping. And then, of course, I'm going to have a nice dose of salad with this. Let's get some dished up on the plate. I love a bit of salad, I do. Even in the winter. Especially when it's a snazzy salad like this with lots of different bits going on. And I'm going to have with it some of the coleslaw. Have a little portion of that on the side. Oops, I'm attaching myself here. And I really like this Pizza Express vegan house light dressing, which is really nice. So I'll have a little drizzle of that on it. So that's mine done. Now I'll do Andrew. So he's going to have some of these cheesy, bacony potatoes. Are you going to go for some salad, babe?
Yeah, I'll go for all that.
Going to have some salad. Just like that. And some coleslaw, I'm assuming.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, it's good,
yeah.
good for me.
Andrew has a bit of everything normally. He likes the full works. So let's pop some. Are you going to have some baked beans?
Yeah, and a little bit of the tuna.
And the chickpea tuna as well, okay.
Yeah, on the side.
Let's pop a little bit of that. I'll put that on the salady end because it's one of the cold ingredients. And then I'll put some baked beans on the opposite side. The potatoes could be like a little dividing wall. Like that. So Andrew's got a bit of everything. So that is Andrew's dinner. And there's mine. As you can see, he's got the same as me, but just with the few extra bits as well. Okay, so this should really fill us up. Warm the cockles of our heart on this cold, cold night.